All right. How are we doing? Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome to what is going to be an SGDQ recap episode because I was going to actually stream today, but I'm still a little actually sick from the marathon. So today is a recap day for me. And hopefully you guys have a lot of questions and we can tell some stories and just hang out in that regard because I do want to talk about SGDQ before it becomes, buried in the past. It was a lot of fun. First of all, I had a lot of fun. I think a lot of people kind of wrote off SGDQ, and in the past maybe that was a valid thing to do just because it was a very small event. But this really seemed like, compared to AGDQ, it seemed very similar in size and scope, and just the amount of talent that was present at SGDQ was unbelievable. Some of the runs that were there were amazing, and just the things we were doing in the back rooms, the melee tournaments, the side events, all that kind of stuff was a blast. It was definitely worth going, and I'm so glad that I went. So let's see here. I'm gonna put on some background music here, just so we have something playing. Let's see. What's like? I need like chill question answering music. Let's see. Talking about like chill, really easy to listen to. Okay, here we go. Okay. Let's see, what do you guys think? Yeah, I guess we can start by talking about my run. So, I guess, like, all things considered, I was pretty happy with my run. I had fun either way. It wasn't the perfect run. It wasn't, like an unforgettable marathon run. It definitely was less than perfect, but taking the major mistakes and, like, forgetting about them, overall I thought the run was pretty good, and I was pretty pleased with it. I got a lot of the things that I was worried I wasn't going to get. Cheese Bridge, got that. Roy's Castle, we got that. Almost had Morton's. I choked it a little bit on one of the platforming hops, so I wasn't able to get the full cycle on that. But, just a majority of things I wanted to show. 3 out of 4 switch jumps, can't complain about that. That's pretty good. So, there was the death cycling on Outrageous, and actually if you look at my first 2 worlds, I was kind of shaky. Just making mistakes that I don't usually make at all. So I was a little nervous, but once you warmed up to playing in the marathon room, it wasn't too bad. I had a lot of fun. Yeah, Outrageous is strong. I don't know. You just have to respect that stage, and I was not respecting it, I guess. I did eventually get the strategy, though, so that was good. I was worried that I wasn't going to get it at all and have to just, like, do some sort of really pathetic, made-up strat just to get around that stage, but I did manage to eventually get the strat that I wanted. I am drinking water. I am super stuffed up, so I'm just drinking some water. Colluding during the melee tournament? No, there wasn't any colluding. Unless you want to say that Trihex threw his games against me, but I'll leave that up to him to decide. I'm pretty sure he was just not warmed up when I played him in the tournament. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, so we didn't try necessarily to hide the understream, but we tried to keep it on the low. So if you didn't get a chance to watch it, they actually, I guess we can now, in retrospect, let you guys know. The understream was ustream.com/channel/go1den written out, so it's GOONEDEN. We did all the understreaming of the marathon there. The first couple days it was pretty much exclusively melee. We had a lot of melee going on, so there's a lot of melee footage over at that site. But we did some other things too. We understreamed the bowling. We went out and did some bowling on the last night of the marathon, so that was pretty fun. There's some interviews on there, some very short interviews. as well as on the first day, we kind of actually went around understreaming, just meeting people. So my first, like when I shook hands with Zos, that was my first encounter with him, was on the understream. I actually I'm holding the phone in one hand and I'm shaking Zos' hand with the other. Like, hey, you know, this is kind of an awkward way to meet you, but all right. I don't think I'll be streaming a lot of Melee. We might race Melee every now and then or something for fun, but yeah, I do want to keep up with it. I really enjoy playing, and I had a lot of coaching from a lot of different people at SGDQ, so that was really helpful, and I got a lot. I like when I can tell that I'm improving, that means I improved a lot, because I'm such a critic of the way I play things. But I was even noticing after a couple days. I mean, when I got there, I was atrocious. But then I started learning some techniques from guys like Daisy was teaching me, OmniGamer was teaching me. I had some good one-on-one matches with Trihex throughout the marathon. I played a couple games against Cosmo, Pi, Kurt Q. Kurt Q spanked me though. Like he just was out to make me look bad. I don't know. Yeah, one of the hardest parts about doing understream is that you have to manage your battery. I never really thought I had to manage my battery, but there were times I wanted to understream, but I couldn't because I didn't have any battery left, and I wasn't paying any attention. So by like day 2 of the marathon, I was constantly charging my phone when I had the chance. We didn't get to understream. I really wanted to understream the Twin Galaxies hideout because we went there the first night. It wasn't as exciting as I thought it would be, to be honest. It was kind of a letdown. It had, you know, all the classic arcade games. You had your Donkey Kongs and your Mario Brothers and your, you know, just when you think of points, it had, you know, your points games. But there really wasn't a lot of excitement about it going on there. You know, they didn't really care that a bunch of SRL people were there taking over. But I will say, one of the highlights that we didn't get to show from the hideout was actually, we tricked Pi. On the way to the hideout, Pi kept talking about how cool it would be if someone recognized him. And we were trying to keep it in perspective. But Pi was just rolling with it. He just was convinced that he was internet famous and there was going to be somebody there that recognized him. So we said, okay, alright, we're going to do this. So we had... Studio was in on this, and a couple other people were in on it, and they were playing 4-player Simpsons arcade game. Okay, just the worst arcade game. It's just it's a terrible. It's not fun. Don't try to defend it. It's a bad arcade game. But we convinced Studio that he was going to convince everybody else that it was a blast. So we gave him a bunch of quarters, and we're just like, all right, if anybody tries to walk away from this machine, you put a quarter in and insist that they stay there. So Pi's just staying at this machine. And he hasn't looked away from it in like 30 minutes. So Kurt Q and I go over and we see there's a group of fairly attractive girls that are playing some arcade games a few machines over. And we just go up to them and we're like, hey, we want to prank our friend here who thinks he's all that in a bag of chips. So would any of you be interested? And the 2 of the girls looked right at the 3rd girl that was there and just, they seemed to like know. They were on the same level as us. Like, yep, she's the one. Like, she's going to be the one that pranks him. So we filled her in briefly, tried to explain it as best we could, in common sense terms, and so we said, okay, you know, this is Pi, or he goes by Pi on the internet, he plays Mario, you really like his speed runs of Mario because he plays it fast, and you just want to get your picture, and so your friends are going to help get the picture. So she played along great, we went and hid, and she went up and just taps him on the shoulder while he's playing Simpsons, you know, like not paying any attention. She's, are you Pi? I watch your stream all the time. Can I get a picture with you? And he's just like, okay, yeah, dude. And he just like turns around. And here's the important part to note. Took the glasses off. So confirmed if he has the choice, Pi prefers the glasses off in the photos. So he took the glasses off. You know, I don't think he put his arm around her. I was kind of hoping that would happen. Like, I kind of thought Pi might step up, you know, when the opportunity arises like that, you gotta step up to the plate. But I don't think he did. I think they just kind of like hovered awkwardly near each other and took this picture. In any case, by the end, he clearly was not buying it anymore. Me and Kirk went over and tried to talk to him about it, and we just gave him some crap, so it was good. It was pretty good. I think he got what he was asking for. So yeah, that's what you get when you just say, I hope someone recognizes me, I hope someone recognizes me. Well, there you go. Someone recognized you. See, now we're worried that he's going to cry wolf when someone actually realizes him. So, the next time that somebody goes, you know, oh, hey, are you Pi? He's just going to be like, oh, what is my personal best? You know, like he's going to give him a 10-question quiz before he's actually, like, willing to accept the fact that they actually know who he is. You know. What is the average amount of time it takes me to get Blue House Skip? What other video games do I speedrun? Like... Just gonna, yeah, he's gonna have it actually like a written test too. He's just gonna like whip it out of his pants pocket and be like, here you go. You've got 2 minutes to complete this quiz. 9 out of 10 or I'm not taking my photo with you. So, I don't know. It was pretty good. But yeah, so that was Twin Galaxies Hideout. It really wasn't a lot to it, unfortunately. There were one other story from that event, actually. There were 2 really drunk guys playing Track and Field, the arcade game Track and Field. This is the one where pretty much no matter what Track and Field event you're doing, you're just mashing the button as much as you can. So they were doing like the javelin toss, and they're just mashing the button to throw the javelin. But these guys were convinced this is like Track and Field was going to be an Evo. This is how hyped they were. So they took turns throwing the javelin, and it was just every 30 seconds or so, we're sitting there eating our food right next to this Track and Field machine, and this guy's just, oh yeah, that's gonna be a good one, that's gonna be a good one, ah, oh yeah, ah. And it's just, we're sitting there like trying to eat, and this guy's getting louder and louder, and it was awful. It was unbearable. We tried to get into the hype too. I was worried we were going to get beat up if we kept going, but we occasionally chimed in. We're sitting at our table, you know, just, oh yeah, yeah. Yes, he's got it. He's got it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Run it back. Run it back. That's right, you put another quarter in that machine. That's right. You know? We just kind of like pushed him along, like, all right, keep playing there, you know? Just keep going. Oh. Alright, so anyway, that was the Twin Galaxies Hideout story, I guess. Oh, speaking of Sinister, dude, I don't know if anybody got a picture of this, but at the Twin Galaxies Hideout, the like one redeeming thing, they had a Little Mac poster. They had a Little Mac poster from Punch-Out, and it just had like all of his stats. And it was really cool, and I was hoping someone took a picture. I couldn't take a picture because I didn't have my phone with me for that event, but I was really hoping that somebody got a picture of it because it was pretty sweet. You want me to play this GIF? Let's see. What's this GIF? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got that one. I've got like 50 GIFs, and I'm trying to like see it. I had this other screen up. Here, we'll go back to this one for a second. So I just have a ton of GIFs. So many good memories. If we go here, we'll kind of go around the clock here. So top left is me getting a switch jump. That was the blue switch jump, the last one of the run. People were really getting into that. And good thing I hit it because everybody was really excited about it, it looks like. So then we'll just keep going clockwise here. So you got Spike Vegeta on top there with the waggle controls. We've got Diddy Kong Racing in the top right corner there, raising your dongers. That was actually, people donated to make us say ready, go, and we put our hands up for ready and hands down for go. So that was what was going on there. If you go to the far outside then, below that picture, you've got Bonesaw putting on the sunglasses and owning the couch. And then below that one, you've got Pi doing his dance during Paper Mario. He's just, yeah, he's rocking the house. I think he ended up dying as a result of doing that dance. I'm not sure, but I think he ended up dying. Left of that, you've got Snappa. This the Duke crew from Super Mario Sunshine. Everybody snapping their fingers. And then above the snapping, we've got Cosmo high-fiving Blue Glass. And to the right of that, we've got some more snapping action going on. Bottom left corner, Graviton just heard what his time was in Pilot Wings. And he had no idea that he had the world record, but when they told him what time he had, oh my god, that's a new world record. And the room erupts in cheers. And Duke's just all smiles. So yeah, there you go. Those are some GIFs. And if we bring it back to this page here, starting, how do I can't point on webcams, it's hard. There, we'll go here first. So this is Blue Glass just cracking up. I don't know what was said in this room at this point, but we've got the hilarious joke of the marathon apparently. And then right here, Duke is being raised up. And then further left of that is the urn dance. Luigi's Mansion. That's how you celebrate. Bonesaw, by the way, just so based. The guy is amazing. He's a ton of fun to hang out with, and just clearly had a good time no matter what he was doing. But that's him celebrating his Luigi's Mansion run there. This is Studio and Mexeric and Base Monkey, the Pokemon speedrunner. They're apparently doing the Eskimo kiss there. This is... I'm not really sure what's happening here. I know this is Metasigma in the bottom left. And I think this was the Flex donation. But so this was Secret of Evermore is what was going on here. But I don't know why everyone's flexing. I don't know if that was donated or if they just all felt like joining in. But got everybody going flexing there. I'm still having trouble pointing. This corner here. This was during the shoutouts at the end of the marathon. We had some dancing going on. Blue Glass was dancing. We got Bonesaw dancing in the front there without a shirt on. We got Essentia dancing. And then if you look at the back corner of that GIF, like right by the door, you get Puexel dancing. Now this is something that I did not expect. Like if you compile the list of things that you would expect to happen at a marathon, that would be not on my list ever. So this is one of those like rare opportunities. If you get a chance, I know it's not the reason this GIF was made, but just look. Get that little glimpse of Puexel in the bottom left. Just hands up, hands up. That's right. There you go. And then at the very bottom left, we've got Daze and Trihex competing for shoulder space, I think. Like, Trihex is, like, visibly upset that Daze is making moves on Tofool faster. Like, Trihex needs to step his game up, because Tofool is not one to wait around, and Daze is making moves. So, Trihex is not okay with that, but needs to step his game. Look at that, he's even retreating a little bit. He kind of brings his hand back. So yeah, those are the GIFs. There were tons of GIFs throughout SGDQ. That was a lot of the fun. Okay, so now that I've explained as many GIFs as I could, I guess let's take some questions here. What are some questions that you guys have for me? Either my opinions on different things that happened at the marathon, or just general marathon questions. What are some things that you guys want to know? I'm out of water and my throat's really sore. So that's the other thing, is we all got kind of sick. Somebody brought the sickness to the marathon, and I tried my best to escape it, but I've got a sore throat, so. Lots of questions about Blue Glass. Okay, so I'll start there. So Blue Glass, actually, I don't know if you guys know this. This is worth pointing out. So he was on the couch for Super Metroid. Blue Glass was one of the original Super Metroid 100% players. We're talking years ago. Blue Glass was playing Super Metroid 100%. So he was very knowledgeable on the game, and his commentary was pretty good related to Super Metroid, in my opinion. He knows a lot of frame counts on things, so he'll know the window for tricks. And for the most part, I think newer players kind of step away from knowing that kind of information, so that was kind of cool to have that different approach. He seemed to be very knowledgeable about those sorts of things. But I think it was also kind of an experience for him, because in a sense, you know, like when you learn the game and then you don't update yourself, you're just kind of a mark in time, like the speedrun strats that I knew back then versus what is being displayed in front of me right now. And so I think it was kind of like this realization thing going on for Blue Glass, like when he's watching Zos do this 100% and just seeing all of these new strategies, and he started questioning some of them, like, I don't really think that's right. I don't, you know, I think it's faster to do it this way. And it got a little annoying in the sense that he just kept insisting that he was right. But at the same time, I think part of it was just like so many new things being presented to him that it's kind of an eye-opener when you see all those new strategies. But I thought his commentary was pretty good. I thought he tended to backtalk a lot of donation comments. That got kind of annoying. But other than that, I thought he was fine. Let's see, what else? What did the Smash Room smell like? It was pretty bad. There were definitely some nasty smells coming from that room. Vomit and used pizza. Favorite moment of the marathon? Probably just the Doot-to-Doot crew with Super Mario Sunshine. That run was so much fun to be a part of. I had a blast. It was definitely worth staying up to be a part of that crew. What was the best thing that I ate? Probably Smash Burger. I haven't ever had Smash Burger. I usually get, like, we have Five Guys. I guess we have Five Guys and Smash Burger around here, but I just always go to Five Guys, so Smash Burger was pretty good. All the runs should be up on YouTube eventually. I don't know if they are already or not, but they should be. They usually post them within a few weeks after the marathon. I know that there's actually a Reddit thread that already has links to all the Twitch VODs. So if you are looking for a specific run, I think Reddit has you covered. If somebody wants to link that, that would be awesome. What was the weirdest thing that happened to me while I was there? Okay, this is pretty good. I think this is pretty, like, weird, but it wasn't, I don't know. It's one of those things you expect to happen, I guess. Like, it was just funny because it was circumstantial. So I got in the elevator, and I'm going down to the lobby to watch, I don't know, some marathon room run. I'm the only person in the elevator, and I go down one floor and it stops. And the doors open, and Sicko and Siglemic walk into the elevator. Now that's perfectly normal. Like, that's nothing weird about that. But here was the part that got me. They both reach out and they put their hands out and they've got their nails painted, and they both just kiss the nails, Golden, kiss the nails. So that was okay. That was a little surprising. Like, all right then. Didn't expect to see that. So Sicko and Siglemic had their nails painted. So I asked them. I was like, so what about Giano and Jape then? The rest of the Jope crew? What, are they just not a part of this or whatever? And their response to me was that they were too manly. Giano and Jape were too manly, so they didn't join in. But yeah, that was definitely a surprising moment. I was laughing. It was pretty good. I did not spend a lot of time with Jope crew in general. They kind of kept to themselves for the most part. I did get to talk to Jape and Giano a little bit, and Sicko. We were doing like leaderboards discussion on SRL early in the morning one morning, so I got a little bit of discussion with those guys. But for the most part, they kept to themselves. Let's see, what other questions? Proudest moment? For me, probably just getting a lot of the tricks in my run. I know that my run wasn't perfect, but at least I was able to showcase some of the really cool tricks in the game, so. Cheese Bridge was one that I was worried about, and I got first try. Roy's Castle, I got first try. 3 out of 4 switch jumps, I'll take that any day. And people had a lot of fun with that, so. how much experience did I have with bowling prior to the stream? I used to bowl a long, long time ago, like before high school. But other than that, not much. How much do I hate Outrageous? That stage is brutal. Like, you cannot overlook Outrageous. It is... The minute you start sleeping on that stage, it bites you. And I was practicing that every day leading up to the marathon. I was like, there's one stage I need to get right in my run, and it's Outrageous. So I sat there and like, all right, we're going to practice Outrageous. And I got to the point where I felt really good. And the problem is that no matter what jumping pattern you pick for the Dragon Coins category on Outrageous, you always have one spot somewhere at the start where there's a small window where something can go wrong. And it just so happened that I kept hitting that small window over and over again in my run. And there's just nothing you can do about it. It's the nature of the game. So, yeah, I mean, that's how it goes. And I was ready to deal with that when it happened, but I was kind of hoping to go a little bit better than it did in the run, but that's okay. Will you style your hair into a mohawk? Probably not. My hair doesn't style, like, it just, in general, if it grows any longer than this, it's too much, and this already is, like, the best it's gonna be, so I don't know. I'm not blessed with the nice hair. Dude, Bonesaw loves me, that's probably confirmed, yeah. We're just, you know, we're in love, man. Me, Bonesaw, and Tofu. How long did I practice before my run? I did a couple practice runs at the venue, and then just some general practice. I would say in total at the marathon I probably did about 5 or 6 hours of practice, which was more than I think a lot of people. Some people, it depended. Like Zost never got up from his practice station. He was there the entire week, just sitting there, just doing runs over and over and over again. I wish I could practice like that, but I just can't. I'm too much of a scatterbrain. So I was glad that I got any practice at all, because I was worried that for a while it kind of felt like I wasn't going to. Some people just kind of winged it when they went to do their run. They're just like, hey, you know, I'm here to have fun. I don't really need to practice. If I have a good run, I have a good run. But yeah, I did a couple no reset runs. My first one was really bad. I had like a 150, and I was really nervous that it wasn't going to go well. And then my second run, I had like a 142, so it was better. But then I just started drilling stages that I thought were problem stages, so. If I could learn a game from the marathon, what would I pick? Sunshine looked like a lot of fun, not gonna lie. That looked like a good game to play. Just love those freeform platformers. Favorite run based on the game, but not the crowd. Probably Link to the Past. Link to the Past was executed unbelievably well. But the crowd itself was just generally it was kind of a quieter room considering how many people were there. I mean, it had its applause when things went well. But I would have expected more hype. I think people were just afraid that if they talked too loud during that run, they might jinx it, so. That run was amazing, though. Yeah, Spike Vegeta was an amazing donation comment reader. I'm so glad that he read for my run. I love Spike, he's a good guy. We had a lot of fun. He was actually on my lane for bowling as well. We called him Strike Vegeta because he kept throwing strikes. The guy was a beast. Actually, another quick story while we're talking about Spike. So, first thing we do when we get to the bowling alley, I see there's a scratch-off ticket machine. And I was like, alright, this is it, guys. Come on over here. And I pointed out, I'm like, $20 scratch-off ticket, Monopoly Millionaires. Like, that's it right there. That's the one. And Spike Vegeta, without even thinking about it, just like whips out his wallet, opens it up, pulls out the $20 bill, sticks it in the machine, presses the Monopoly Millionaires button, the ticket pops out. He immediately scratches it with a coin that came out of nowhere. I mean, this coin, I don't know where this coin came from, but it was there. And he just immediately starts scratching. Boom, wins 50 bucks. There you go. It was unbelievable. So Spike Vegeta had probably the best night of all of us at the bowling alley. Yeah. Oh, MBM showed us the scratch-off machine? Alright, I'll believe that. I'll believe it. I don't know. I just assumed it was me because I would have been the one that was like, hey, gambling. I don't know. I was side betting all over the place at SGDQ, so... anytime there was an opportunity to make or lose money, I was there. My side betting was not going well. I'll say that. I immediately bet on Kurt Q to beat Pi in Smash, which should, like, 10 times out of 10 give me my money back, and then some. But Kurt Q is a massive fraud, and Pi beat him. So I lost money immediately at the start of the marathon. And then I proceeded to lose... no, I didn't win a side bet. I won one side bet in... I don't even remember. It was like a joke melee match, and I bet on one of the sides and won. And then immediately lost it again. So... I don't know what I think about just general meetups with people. I mean, the problem is a lot of times just geography. Like, if there are people around you, then it's really easy to schedule those sorts of things. As an example, a couple of years, or maybe last year, I think it was last year, there was a Super Metroid meetup in Texas, if I remember correctly. A bunch of people showed up and played Super Metroid, different categories. But I think it all kind of depends on geography and when people are around and if they want to get together or whatever. Yeah, the Midwest meetup, I would be down for that at some point. We've kind of joked about it, like the Golden and Friends Marathon. First of all, I need to move before that happens. So that's like #1 of my priorities now that SGDQ is over. It's like I'm just gonna move. That's what happens first. But when that happens, then we can consider the Golden and Friends Marathon. We did cup stacking. It didn't end up going on stream, but we only cup stacked in the practice room. And I had a time of 13 seconds, and Tofu had a time of 9. So Tofu was the winner. He's really good at it, but here's his thing, is like, I think I finished more times correctly, and he would screw up a bunch, like drop a cup and then start over. So he like was resetting more, but he got the better time in the long run. I just completed more cycles. But yeah, Tofu was a beast. Yeah, we played some P4A, me and MBM. He schooled me. I'm not good at the fighting games yet, but maybe someday. I actually did not get to hang out with Ice Plug a lot. I didn't even get to talk to him, actually. He was in the room a lot of the time. But based on what I've heard, he was basically this marathon's blue glass, watching every run. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I was getting, it was kind of weird. After our show match on stream, it was me and Trihex had played on stream. And after it was done, I was getting tweets from Melee pros and Melee commentators. And they were making fun of me, but at the same time, I was like, I can't believe that these people are actually that interested in what we're doing, that they would go out of their way to tweet us. So it was kind of cool. Like, one of them was saying, like, oh, well, did you see that turnip turnaround? Like, maybe Golden is my new Peach protege. Like, I'm going to teach him some stuff. And I thought that was really cool that even though we're not Melee pros by any means, you know, we're just a bunch of people who are also enjoying Melee in addition to what we showed up to do, that they were very supportive of us. So the Melee community is awesome like that. And it was as much fun for us to be able to present the finals on stream as it was probably for them to see other people interested in Melee, and that was pretty cool. I think that's also the first instance of a bonus stream gaining viewers as it goes on. Usually bonus streams just kind of whittle away the viewer count until it's so low that they need to cut the marathon before it just dies. But there was something about Melee that, you know, we start tweeting it, the commentators of Melee start tweeting it, some of the pros start tweeting it, and that viewer count rose. I think it was up a couple thousand when Melee started, so that's pretty cool. Fighting Masters, I thought Fighting Masters was dive kick before dive kick was dive kick, if that makes sense. That game looked super hype. We'll have to bring that back too. What was the most hype Melee match? So I didn't actually see this one, but I heard so many stories about it that it had to have been true. It was Cosmo and Ness Kamikaze. They had a money match. And it was twice counterpicked. The flat zone. The map flat zone was counterpicked twice. So that's when you know it's hype. Pokefloats was picked once or twice as like a counterpick throughout the week, but flat zone back to back in the same money match, I don't know. That sounds pretty hype to me. Oh, I'm still sick, so hopefully I get better soon. I want to stream this weekend. I want to play some games. I want to play some new games that you guys don't ever get to see me play, because here's the other thing. So SGDQ finishes, you get like 5 days, man. 5 days, and then boom, you got to pick your games for AGDQ. And if you don't, you're going to miss it, because AGDQ is going to be so huge that you just don't get a second chance. You got to be able to declare, like, this is the game I'm running, you know, 5 months from now. So I'm just gonna have to like go hardcore on new stuff. And I have a few ideas. I actually have one that's, I don't want to spoil it, it's on screen right now, and just like as soon as I cut this stream, we're practicing. I got a new game, and I'm super hyped for it, and I think you guys will love it as well. And I am hoping to offer what is on the screen in front of me here. I am hoping to offer it for HDQ. So that's how excited I am. I'm back from SGDQ. I'm sick. I went to work today. I was sick at work. I come back home. I'm still sick, but I can't sleep because I want to practice this right here. So you guys like the Harvest Moon run? I'm so glad we fit it in, because after my SMW run finished, I was informed that we didn't have a copy of Harvest Moon. So it was like I was given this awkward like we don't really know what to do either, you know? Like just pretend like you're not running it. Just go back and sit on the couch, and you know, Tofu will do his run, and then we'll just all forget that we ever donated for it, you know? And so I was like, okay, like I don't know. And then after Sunshine, they came back up and had Harvest Moon ready to go, so that was fun. I can explain the Harvest Moon situation if you really want me to. I think it's better to not know. Like, it's just more amusing that way. Like, to keep you guessing, because the actual like explanation of it is pretty bad. It's not that exciting. But what ends up happening in that Harvest Moon run is that the game itself has like 30 different endings. So what the developers did is they said, okay, well, just so that you can see all the endings, we're going to give you an opportunity to immediately end the game at any point and find out what ending you have. So that way you don't have to play the game 30 different times. That's pretty convenient. I like that. I especially like it for speedrunning, because we can end the game immediately. But you can only do it when you go to sleep. So when you're sleeping, you have the opportunity to immediately warp to the end of the game to see your results. So that's what the speedrun is. You go into town, you have to say hello to a certain number of people before you can go back, and then when you go back, you go to sleep for 3 years. That's pretty good. I was in the room for Catechumen, yes. I've seen him run it before too, Peaches, running it on stream. Very funny guy, very funny game. He always has the hottest games. If you don't follow Peaches, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, shoutouts to Duke for his excellent commentary. Absolutely. Top 10 commentary in North America. Any games that I wasn't previously interested in that impressed me as a run? For the most part, I felt like I understood a lot of the games or had familiarity with a lot of the games that I watched at SGDQ, to be honest. I will say that I watched Duke play Hotline Miami, and that's a game that I wasn't as familiar with, but looked like a fun game to run. Sorry. Rockman 4 Minus Infinity was one that I was familiar with, but in general, Mega Man games aren't my specialty, so it's one of those series that I'm always continually impressed by when people play well, because it's a series that I've always struggled with. So even though I was familiar with the speedrun and I had seen, you know, Duckfist do practice runs of it, it was really cool to see that live. That was one of my favorite runs of the marathon. I was in the room for Diddy Kong Racing. I was actually, so the camera was tilted so you can only see the couch. I was sitting right next to the couch during Diddy Kong Racing on the extra chair. So I was in the front row for that. It was a lot of fun. Very impressive run. Definitely deserves, I think there was like a poll that people could rank the runs based on how much they enjoyed them. And I think it was #1 on every poll that I could find, so definitely deserved that. I was kind of surprised Sunshine was rated a little bit lower, like outside of the top 10. I thought that was a top 10 run, but I guess it was very early in the morning too, so maybe not as many people saw that. I thought that was a blast. The room atmosphere was really good. The run was really solid. And for, you know, what was it at that point, 3 in the morning or something? Like, we were just, you know, acting like we had just woke up. We were, and had a bunch of caffeine in us. We were super excited, so. I met Zost. I did not get to talk to Zost a lot. Zost was dedicated. He was practicing the entire time, and it just, like, you kind of felt bad if you interrupted him because he was just so focused on his game. But he's a very cool guy, and very, very humble guy. One of the things you'll notice, if you go back and watch that Super Metroid run again, or if you haven't watched it yet and you go to watch it, watch how many times he says thank you. This is a guy that appreciates everything. He's so humble. If a donation comment was targeted at him, like wishing him good luck, thank you. If somebody in the room said, hey, that was a cool trick, thank you. Like, he just super appreciative. Really, really humble guy, and really talented. Unbelievable that he could get sub 120 in a 100% run in a marathon. That's insane. Just for reference, nobody else in the world has a sub 120 100%. Zos is the only person that has that, and he got it in the marathon too. That's ridiculous. Yeah, if you guys aren't following Zost, twitch.tv/Zosty. Give that man a follow. Somebody asked if I'm done with the SMW. Here's my response to that. No, but I want to play other stuff. So I focused really hard on SMW for SGDQ specifically, but I want to branch out and play new stuff, and I want to get stuff ready for AGDQ, so I'm going to be playing new games as well. But I want to take Dragon Coins and Moons to the point where I get a Deathless run. I think that would be where I would say, okay, I'm satisfied with this category. And then from that point on, I might try doing other categories just for fun. I've thought about No Cape, No Star World. I think that might be fun to try. I'd like to try to get maybe a better 96 exit time. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's kind of where I want to take it now at this point. Just get a good Deathless run and try some new games out. Low percent hype, dude. That's the Sloop special right there. I think Sloop's the only person I've ever seen do low percent in Super Mario World. I am a little sick. I don't feel that sick, it's just a cough. But some people had it really bad. Like, I heard some people were like confined to their rooms, they were so sick. But I escaped mostly okay. I had a lot of orange juice as soon as I started getting sick. And it's just kind of an annoying cough now, but... Yeah, I think all of us got a little bit of something there. I tried my best. I'm such a clean person, I'm always washing my hands. And, you know, just... If I feel unclean, that bothers me. So I'm, you know, like, shower every day, wash my hands as often as I can, and... Just like the way I put it is that, like, for somebody who is so obsessed with being clean, like, getting sick is like failing. Like, that's just so, like, I failed this week. It's awful. It's the worst. It's the worst feeling. But we'll get over it. Where do you get into speedrunning? 2 sites that I think kind of cover everything: speedrunslive.com, speeddemosarchive.com. Both of those sites combine to create sort of a compendium of speedrunning. So Speedruns Live is where you've got your live streams, you've got the IRC where you can hang out and chat about games or different speedruns that you want to do, and you can race other people. Speed Demos Archive, you got forums that have games plotted out. So if you're trying to run something and somebody else has run it, odds are there's a discussion that was going on somewhere on the forums, so you can find out what other people have already tried in that game. And then you got your marathon planning as well on the Speed Demos Archive site, so definitely check those sites out if you're interested. What did I order at IHOP? One time I went, I ordered a milkshake. And then the other time I went, I ordered French toast. There you go. That's as real as it gets. Oh man, dude, it's the worst. I hate being sick. No, I did not order sex waffles, but Trihex, my god, he is the funniest guy ever. We went, at like 4 in the morning, we go to IHOP, a big group of us, and Trihex shows up, and it's his turn to order, and he's just like, can I get some of these swags, can I get some of these swag sex waffles? And then she's like, the waitress is completely unfazed. She's heard this a million times before. The rest of us were just like, cracking up. We can't contain ourselves. She just sits there like calmly like, yes, you can have the swag sex waffles. Would you like hash browns with that? And Trihex is like, no, hash browns are pretty pleb tier. It was amazing. It was so hilarious. I wish we understreamed that because it was so priceless. Pleb tier is the new like phrase of the marathon. Like, everybody has come to learn and appreciate and use the phrase pleb tier. That is definitely one that I'm going to keep in my vocabulary for a while. So. Let's see, more questions. The guy that's flexing right here is Meta Sigma, and this was during his Secret of Evermore run. What games do I want to see at Awesome Games Done Quick? I would really like to see, I know this isn't what everybody wants, but I want to see the glitched Yoshi's Island, I really do. I think when you do something to your game that just shatters it and blows people's minds, that's something they want to see. And as much as I love Yoshi's Island 100%, and as much as I would watch Yoshi's Island 100% on any other day of the week, I feel like if somebody can get a consistent glitched run of Yoshi's Island and just innocently play through World 1 and have you convinced that it's going to be just your standard run-of-the-mill Yoshi's Island run, and then hit 2-2 and blow your mind, and then, like, as your mind is being blown, as you hit World 3 and as you hit World 4, you start to figure it out at home, you start to get what's going on, but you're still amazed by what's happening. I really think those are the kinds of runs that are amazing. Those are the ones you talk about, and I really hope that that gets put in there. Diddy Kong Racing 100%, I know Tofu wants to do that. That would be a lot of fun to watch. I predict a Conker's Pocket Tales run from Aneb. I hope that happens. What else? What else? Who else is going to be there that wasn't at SGDQ? I think it would be cool to see... I don't know if Garrison plans on running Super Metroid or not, but it'd be cool to see the return of Garrison if he wants to make a comeback at Awesome Games. More Flicky is always a good thing too. I hope Flicky runs something. I hope he violates all of the rules of the marathon in the process. Also, I think Worcester is allegedly doing, I want to say Red Blue 100%. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what's happening. So that would be fun to watch as well. That's going to be glitchy. Yeah, those glitched Pokemon runs are always fun to watch. How was the hotel? The hotel itself was alright. The problem was that it wasn't located near anything. It was... Some people will disagree with me on this, but in my opinion, like, there should have been fast food all up and down that street. And the nearest fast food was a good 15-20 minute walk. So, if you want... IHOP was right next to the hotel, but that's a sit-down place. And one of my biggest things was... Like, if I want to go get food, I want to get it quick and get back to the marathon. I don't want to be out getting food all the time. And so what ended up happening was if you wanted fast food, you walked 20 minutes, got your fast food, walked 20 minutes. If you wanted to sit down, you walked 5 minutes, sat down for, 50 minutes, and then walked back for 5 minutes. So, like, no matter what you tried to do, you were always gone for at least an hour when you wanted food. I guess there were a few pizza places that delivered, but... Aside from that, yeah, I don't know. There were some fast food places, like we did find a KFC, we found a Wendy's, but it's just kind of, for me at least, I would have preferred to have fast food closer. Yeah, and apparently the AGDQ hotel is going to be, like, prime position for that kind of thing, so... Was there anyone I didn't know before SGDQ that I became friends with afterwards? I would say that for the most part, I hung out with people that I knew, but I actually did not know a few people that I actually did really hang out with a lot and become good friends with. So, for instance, one of my Melee, like, masters, he was like the teacher and somebody that was willing to help me out, was Daze. And, I was hanging out in Trihex's room playing Melee with these guys, and Daze was just like, hey, like, want to hop in for me, like, want to fill in for my spot. And this is, when you're bad at Melee, you don't get to fill in a lot. People don't give up their spot. Like, the good players stay on the TV. But our base Daisy here, he's just like, all right, you want to play Golden? Like, you want to, here, I'll sit out. And then I'm sitting, and so I step in, I'm like, all right, I'm going to be terrible, but okay, I'll play. And then he's just like pointing out things the whole time while I'm sitting there playing. It's like, no, that was pretty good, but try this instead. You shouldn't use that move. That move's not that great. Try this one instead. Do you know how to wave dash? Let me teach you wave dashing. And so it was really cool. And he was a big help and a cool guy to hang out with. He was part of the Duke crew as well. And also a lot of the 502 guys, I knew vaguely who some of these guys were, but never really met them or talked to them. So I got to hang out with Darkman and Countdown, and a few others. Scintilla was there as well. Walkenut, actually, I met Walkenut. We've talked to Mumble a lot, but getting to meet Walkenut was really cool. But yeah, shout out to the 502. They were very supportive. throughout the marathon with their donations, but also very cool people, the ones that I met in person, were pretty awesome. Spudley was also a really cool guy. He laughed at all my jokes, which was a plus. Like, in my book, if you laugh at my bad jokes, you're a cool person. So Spudley was laughing all the time. He was hanging out with us for quite some time. I had heard of Duke before SGDQ. I knew roughly who Duke was, but this was my first time meeting Duke. He was a cool guy. Yeah, Duke can grab both. You know, coming from 4chan, like, and so first of all, you have to understand that I'm like, when it comes to the internet, I'm just like the dumbest person out there. I don't use Reddit. I don't like, I avoid things like Reddit. I just can't do it. I can't keep up with it. It's hard. I don't know. My brain doesn't think that way. So I don't do like the Reddit, the 4chan, the, you know, etc., etc. But my like preconceived notion of 4chan was very different from what I got in person. Grav and Duke were very, very cool guys. They like to joke and have a good time, and they kind of taught me the ways too. I got a little bit of experience with 4chan while I was there. We were just kind of pointing out some of the cool memes that they came up with throughout the marathon. That was fun. Melee was streamed. It was streamed during the bonus stream. The finals of the actual tournament, and then some friendly matches were played on stream. What program do I use to show my splits? It's called WSplit. I play as Peach because they told me Ness is really bad. I main Ness. So this gives you an idea of how much I know about Smash. I main Ness. And I think I surprised a few people, like when I just pull out Ness and kind of surprise them for the first stock, but then they just wreck me. But yeah, I was strictly told, like, don't play Ness if you want to be serious about this game. And Peach is the second most common character that I play, so I went with Peach for the rest of the week. Got some education there. What's my opinion on Naglaria? Really loud during Mario Party, but otherwise not as loud as you would think. Like, if he's not playing Choo Choo Rocket, if he's not playing Mario Party, he, for the most part, can keep himself under control. And I feel bad because, so, there was a group of 5 of us that went back to the airport as we were leaving SGDQ. And Naglaria was the last one with... It was me and Naglaria were the last 2 left. And we were on the same flight, actually. And then I got off the flight, and the first thing I did is just, like, bolted over to baggage claim without even, like, stopping to think. Because I figured we'd just meet up at baggage claim. But then I realized he's not stopping where I was stopping. He had another flight to catch. So I, like, bolted off to baggage claim and never said goodbye to Naglaria. But hopefully he understands. I was in a hurry to get home, I guess. I had somebody send me a tweet saying they had bingo during my actual run during the marathon. I'd believe it. I didn't do any verification myself, but I think somebody had a bingo. Yeah, Naglaria has made fun of SMW multiple times. Interesting story, actually. The first time that I ever met Naglaria was at last AGDQ, and I was playing 96X at Super Mario World at the time. I was just playing on one of the TVs in the practice room, and he sat down to play Mario Party next to us with a group of people, and he just, like, leaned over and started just without even saying hello or anything, just like, oh, this game takes no skill, you just cape over everything, terrible game, like, could you play a more luck-based game? This is stupid, like, it just goes on for like 3 minutes. I'm like, hi, I'm Golden, you know, like, let's start back at the beginning here. Nice to meet you. But yeah, so he's been very outspoken about not liking S&W, but that's okay. Dude, Carl's comments were the best. I was so happy that I heard those comments while I was doing my run. That was awesome that you donated. A lot of people donated that I recognized actually during my run. That was pretty cool. Lee donated as well. Spim donated when I was in the room. I don't know if he donated during my run, but I remember he donated at one point when I was sitting in the room, and he made some comments that I remembered hearing. You stopped yourself at top 5. That was good. Yeah, I think that was probably a good choice. They might not have read it otherwise, but that was very clever. I was laughing. Yeah, Sunshine, we had so much fun with that run. Like, I'm so glad Tofuel didn't mind that we were doing the snapping in the background and, like, singing along, because we just had a blast with it. And I could picture, you know, like, if it was any other runner sitting up there, they might just be like, okay, guys, stop. Like, you've done that, you know, the last 2 shines, please stop. But Tofuel was just like, no, dude, let's just do it. And he never screwed up a shine either, like, I don't know. He had a good run. We had a blast watching it and participating. That was definitely one of... I think that was personally my favorite run to be in the room for, just because of the atmosphere. Yeah, somebody donated during my run with the Civity copy pasta. That was pretty good. Yeah, I think Tofu really was like MVP of this marathon. He did get a lot of viewers prior to the marathon, but I think a lot of people still don't really know who he is up till you know, he did his runs. But his Diddy Kong racing has always been extraordinary, and his Sunshine, it's pretty good. Like, I think if he keeps going with it, he could compete, you know, at the very high level of that game. But I mean, to start off with a run that's just okay. I really want to do this glitched run that came out 3 days ago. Okay, I got world record. That's pretty cool. And then, you know, to come back later and play a game that you're maybe not as good at or not as comfortable with, but still just beasted it. You know, it's just a show, and 2 different genres too. So you got racing and then you got platforming. I think he made a pretty good case for people to watch him. Definitely a guy that I would recommend watching. And along with Bonesaw, like him and Tofuel, or Tofuel and Bonesaw, rather, were like brothers to me throughout that marathon. We just hung out so much. They're pretty cool guys, so... Here we go. I'm gonna type in some new Twitch faces here. These are Tofuel's faces. You get the Alex Tolio face. Let's see, what else do we get? We get this is you need to subscribe to Tofuel for this face and this face alone right here. You get Bone Hype right there. Dude, that face is rad. That face is rad. Isn't it rad, Bonesaw? What's up, dude? Let's see, what else do we get? We get, oh, this is a good one. Tofro. That face is just awesome. Like, here's a context clue on this one. You all are nerds. Tofro. There it is. That's how you use that face right there. And then you get Snappa. So, like, in honor of the Duke to Duke crew, we got Snappa. I like that. So, there we go. Alright, I'm getting pretty sick, so I'm gonna try to wrap this up. Any other, like, final questions? I hope, at the very least, you guys got a chance to watch a lot of runs. If you didn't, go back and watch some of the runs that you didn't get a chance to, that you wanted to, because they were undoubtedly really, really good runs, or, you know, had good atmospheres or whatever. So you should definitely check them out. That's one of the nice things about these marathons, is that if you missed a run, you've got several months to catch up and watch it before you have to worry about the next big marathon happening. So. I appreciate all the comments here, all the love, all the hearts right back at you. I did meet Siglemic, but I've met Siglemic before at AGDQ. I would say that in general, Joke Crew kind of kept to themselves at this marathon. So like it wasn't like we had conversations or anything, but bumped into each other a couple times. Adam AK, I wanted to spend more time hanging out with Adam AK. I didn't really get to that much. That's just the nature of the marathon, is that, you know, there's so many people there and you want to hang out with everybody, but you kind of stick to your groups, or, you know, you see the same people more often than others. And Adam actually, like, I was in the middle of doing a practice run, and this is how Adam greeted me. He just, like, walked up behind me, started giving me a back massage while I was stressing out over my run. It just kind of relieved the tension a little bit, you know. It just started playing a little bit better, you know, a little smile on my face, like, oh, got Adam AK giving me a back massage. Alright then, I guess I'll get a better time. So, every one of you is jealous. You all better be jealous. I got the Adam AK back massage. I returned the favor later too, while he was practicing something else. When do I unleash new game hype? When I am ready to start practicing it. So hopefully this weekend I'll be able to break into some new games and practice on stream. I'm not feeling good tonight, so I don't really want to play anything on stream. I want to cut the stream at some point here and go to sleep. Maybe get better for the weekend. Oh, do we have a picture of the back massage? I want to see. Oh yeah. You guys see this? If I drag it, I don't know if you can see it. There's Adam, right? And there's me. Oh, look at that right there. There it is. Who is the blue shirt guy next to Trihex in the bottom left? That is Tofuel. Okay, well, I think that wraps up just about all the questions that you guys had. So yeah, that was my wrap-up of SGDQ. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with some actual gaming, but I thought we'd do a wrap-up. Everybody kind of does their wrap-up when they get back from the marathon. I just got back last night and fell asleep immediately because I was exhausted, so mine's a little bit late. I'm kind of phoning in my end of the marathon thoughts here. But yeah, so this weekend I'm hoping to get back into Super Metroid with a race tomorrow, if I'm around for that, and then we'll dive into some new games and see how I do with those. And maybe go back. I do want to still get a Deathless Dragon Coins and Moons, so we might slip that in there too. But yeah, the next couple weeks for me are going to be like exploratory, fun, just play whatever you want weeks. And there will no doubt be a lot of failure. So if you like watching me fail, which, you know, a lot of people do, I get the feeling these next couple weeks might be like continuous failure as I try to figure out like what do I want to play next. So that should be good. Okay, so yeah, if you didn't hear your question answered, it's either because I didn't entertain it or I entertained it earlier. So I'm gonna, when I cut this, you're gonna get to go back and watch the VOD if you want to see my thoughts on other things. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think Trihex is actually getting ready to go with a run, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna check this out here. I think Trihex is getting ready to go. So why don't you guys head on over to Trihex, twitch.tv/Trihex. And yeah, give him some tryhards and let him know how excited you are for Yoshi's Island. And I'll be back tomorrow and hopefully a lot of this weekend with some games. So we will see you guys then. But until then, have a great rest of your night and a good weekend.